Have you ever found yourself sitting in your favorite chair, maybe with a cup of tea in hand, and suddenly thought, my mind doesn't feel as sharp as it used to? Or maybe you've caught yourself staring at the clock, wondering where the day went and why the house feels a little too quiet these days? If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. In fact, so many of us over 55 start to notice those little moments where our energy, or our social circles, aren't quite what they once were. But here's the good news, it doesn't have to stay that way. You see, our brains are like gardens. The more we tend to them, with conversation, connection, and a little bit of fun, the more they flourish. And today we're going to talk about 5 simple, joyful ways to do just that. Activities that not only boost your cognitive health but also wrap you in a sense of community so loneliness doesn't stand a chance. Let's start with the first one. Let's talk about book clubs. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Oh, that's just for literary types, or I don't have time to read a whole book. But hold on, book clubs aren't about being perfect. They're about sharing stories, laughing over coffee, and discovering new perspectives. When you discuss a character's choices or debate a plot twist, you're giving your brain a workout. You're remembering details, forming opinions, and listening to others, all of which light up different parts of your mind. Take my friend Margaret, for example. She joined a mystery book club at her local library after retiring, and now she's the one hosting monthly meetings at her house. She'll tell you it's not just about the books, it's the camaraderie. The groups become her brain boosters and her friends. And if you can't find a club nearby, start one. Ask a neighbor, post a note at the community center, or even join an online group. The key is to keep it light, keep it social, and let the conversation flow. Now let's get moving, literally. Our second activity is group exercise classes. And before you groan, hear me out. I'm not talking about running marathons or lifting weights. Think gentle yoga, water aerobics, or even a walking group. The magic here is in the combination. You're getting your body moving and sharing laughs with others. Take Bob, a viewer like you who emailed me last month. He'd been feeling isolated after his wife passed away, until his daughter signed him up for a Tai Chi class at the senior center. At first, he grumbled about it. Tai Chi? That's for statues. But now, he's there 3 times a week. He says the slow, deliberate movements calm his mind, and the folks in class have become his weekday family. The best part? You don't need to be an expert. Look for classes labeled senior-friendly or beginner. Call up a friend and make it a date. Or check out your local community center. They often have free or low-cost options. Remember, it's not about perfection. It's about showing up, moving your body, and letting the social vibes work their magic on your mood and your memory. So, we've covered 2 powerful ways to nurture your mind and heart: diving into a book club and finding your groove in a group exercise class. But here's the thing, these aren't chores to check off a list. They're invitations to rediscover joy, connection, and that wonderful feeling of, hey, I've still got it. Now, I'd love for you to take a moment and think, which of these ideas sparks something in you? Could it be sharing stories over a good book, or maybe swaying to gentle music in a Tai Chi class? Try one this week, even a small step counts. And when you're ready, I'll be right here waiting to share more ways to keep your social life vibrant and your mind as sharp as that favorite kitchen knife of yours. Until then, remember, every conversation, every laugh, every new face you meet is like a vitamin for your brain. And you deserve all the good things that come with it. You know, one of the most beautiful things about life after 55 is how much wisdom we carry. All those years of experiences, stories, and lessons, they're like treasures waiting to be shared. And that brings me to our next activity, volunteering. Now, I can already see some of you nodding. Maybe you've volunteered before, or maybe you're thinking, where would I even start? But stick with me, because this isn't just about giving back. It's about giving yourself a boost too. Let me tell you about Joan. She'd been a teacher for 35 years and missed the hustle and bustle of the classroom after retiring. Then she stumbled upon a volunteer program at her local animal shelter, socializing shy rescue dogs. At first, she worried she'd feel sad seeing animals in need, but instead, she found purpose. She'd chat with other volunteers, share training tips, and even started a weekly puppy story time for kids at the shelter. Joan says those afternoons filled her calendar and her heart in ways she never expected. The beauty of volunteering is that it's a two-way street. Whether it's mentoring kids, serving meals at a community kitchen, or helping at a museum, you're not just sharing your time, you're sparking connections. And here's the science bit. Studies show that volunteering regularly can improve memory and lower stress. So, if you're thinking, I'm not sure I have anything to offer, trust me, you do. Start small. Pick something that aligns with what you already love. Love gardening? Try a community garden. Miss your career? Offer to mentor. The opportunities are endless, and so are the rewards. Now, let's shift gears to something a little more hands-on, literally. Our fourth activity is creative arts groups. Painting, pottery, knitting, woodworking, you name it. Now, I know what some of you might be saying, oh, I'm not artistic. But here's the secret. It's not about creating a masterpiece. It's about losing yourself in the process, laughing at the messy bits, and bonding with others over glue guns or watercolors. Take my buddy Harold. He'd never picked up a paintbrush in his life until his wife signed them up for a sip and sketch class at their local art studio. The first night, he spilled wine on his canvas and accidentally painted a tree that looked like a broccoli floret. But you know what? He hasn't missed a class since. He says it's the mix of focus and fun that hooks him, plus the group's habit of ending each session with a potluck dinner. Now, Harold's broccoli trees have turned into landscapes he's proud to hang on his wall. The magic here is in the doing. Creative activities fire up parts of your brain that routine tasks don't touch. You're problem-solving, experimenting, and maybe even getting a little messy. And when you do it with others, that's where the loneliness antidote kicks in. Look for classes at senior centers, craft stores, or even online workshops. Grab a friend or go solo and meet someone new. Remember, it's not about talent, it's about joy. And if Harold can turn broccoli into art, so can you. So far, we've talked about book clubs, group exercises, volunteering, and creative arts. Each one a doorway to richer connections and a sharper mind. But I want to pause here and ask you something. Have you ever tried something new only to tell yourself, I'm too old for this? I've been there too. But here's the truth. Every time we step out of our comfort zone, we're telling our brains, hey, we're still growing. And that's a powerful thing. Maybe today's the day you call that community center about volunteer opportunities, or dig out those old knitting needles from the attic. Or perhaps you're already thinking, what's next? Well, I've got one more activity to share with you, one that's closer to home than you might think. It's all about reimagining the spaces we already love and turning them into hubs of connection. But I'll save that for our final chat. Until then, why not try one of these ideas this week? Bake cookies for that new neighbor you've been meaning to meet, or dig out that old novel gathering dust on your shelf. And if you've already dipped your toe into volunteering or art classes, I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. Share your stories. Your journey might just inspire someone else to take that first step. Remember, friends, life isn't about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about learning to dance in the rain, preferably with a few good companions by your side. I'll see you soon for our final chapter. There's something special about a kitchen table, isn't there? The way it becomes a stage for stories, a haven for shared meals, or even the site of a heated card game. Which brings me to our fifth and final activity, reimagining the spaces you already love into hubs of connection. Think about it, your home, your porch, even that local park bench you visit every morning. These places aren't just backgrounds to your life, they're invitations to bring people together. Take my neighbor Helen. After her husband passed, she told me her house felt too quiet, too big. Then one day she decided to host a monthly soup and stories night. She'd make a big pot of her famous chicken noodle, and folks from her building would bring a dish or a tale to share. At first she worried, what if no one comes? What if it's awkward? But now, those nights are the highlight of her month. She says planning the menu gets her brain ticking, and hearing everyone's adventures, from grandkids' antics to travel mishaps, keeps her spirit light. You don't need a fancy setup. Start small. Invite a neighbor over for coffee. Host a weekly puzzle hour. Or team up with friends to organize a book swap at your community center. The goal isn't perfection, it's presence. When you open your space, you're not just fighting loneliness, you're creating a ripple effect. And guess what? All that planning and chatting? It's like a treadmill for your brain, keeping it nimble and engaged. So let's tie this all together. Whether it's diving into a book club, finding your rhythm in a Tai Chi class, volunteering with rescue pups, getting messy in an art studio, or hosting soup nights at your kitchen table. Each of these is a love letter to your mind and heart. They're not chores, they're chances. Chances to laugh, to learn, and to remind yourself that life's richest moments often happen when we're with others. Now, I know trying something new can feel daunting. Maybe you're thinking, what if I'm no good at hosting? Or, what if I don't fit in? Here's my 2 cents. Every expert was once a beginner. Every friendship started with a hello. So pick one thing that sparks your curiosity. Maybe it's borrowing a mystery novel from the library today, or texting a friend to join you for a water aerobics class. Or hey, maybe it's simply inviting someone over for tea and store-bought cookies. No one's judging, promise. I want you to remember this. You're never too old to grow, to connect, or to reinvent what your days look like. It's not about adding more to your plate. It's about sprinkling in moments that make your soul hum. And if you ever doubt that, think of Margaret's book club debates, Bob's Tai Chi family, or Helen's soup nights. Small steps, big heart. So, here's my challenge to you. Sometime this week, do one thing, just one, that connects you with others. Then come back here and tell us about it in the comments. Did you join a class? Host a game night? Share your wins, your broccoli tree moments, even the stories that didn't go as planned. Because your journey could be the nudge someone else needs to take that first step. And if you found a tip or two here that resonated, do me a favor? Please, hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and ring the bell so you never miss our chats. Together, let's keep building a community where no one has to face loneliness alone. Thank you for spending this time with me. Remember, age isn't a limit, it's a badge of honor. A testament to all you've lived, learned, and loved. And the best part? The story's still being written. So, here's to filling your pages with joy, connection, and a whole lot of heart. Text on screen, share your story in the comments below. We're all ears.